Hello, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our panel, which is called the eSports at Bowie. My name is Jamal. I'm the host, along with my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm the current president of New Blurred Order.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm the current captain of graphics of New Blurred Order.
And I'm the founder of New Blurred Order and a recent Bowie State alumni. Thank you. So pretty much what we're gonna be talking in today at this panel is about the beginning of the esports program at Bowie State. Each of us has had our part in the upbringing of the esports program in various ways. The organization that we are a part of, NBO, stands for New Blurred Order. It's a Black Nerd Initiative organization out of HBCU, starting at Bowie State, where it's created to cultivate a space for students who are trying to find spaces on campus so they can feel authentically themselves and express themselves in ways that they, have a hard time expressing. We were founded in 2022 and we hosted our first tournament in 2023 spring. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hosted our first tournament in 2023 spring where we hosted a Tekken tournament, a Street Fighter tournament, and a Super Smash Bros. Tournament, along with a 2K tournament. And what that was able to do was to bring attention from the Bowie State President, Dr. Bro, where she acknowledged the rise in competitive gaming or the industry of it. And she was willing to push to looking into having an esports arena built on the campus. In the summer of 2023, I had learned from one of my, I'll say, past mentors and administrator in the IT department that's what they were working on, and they wanted New Blood Order to be a part of it, to be the student organization that helped push the initiative. The arena was fully finished in fall 2024, but opened officially to the campus in spring 2025. Since then, we've had our first official league in fall 2025, which I was able to coach the esports team for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a student worker there before I graduated. Prior, we had an Overwatch team, we had a Valorant team, and we were working on a league team. Mike was one of the people working on the league team, and Ollie was one of the people on the Valorant team. So we are also to give you guys our experiences and how things were kind of like progressed and in total how we kind of like saw it, the potential of it going as starting at Bowie State University.
I think that esports at a HBCU can sometimes be a bit complicated because, well, one, our school is pretty small, and then two, you have to get people who are used to like more traditional sports when it comes to like collegiate sports like football or track, stuff like that, and you have to get them to understand that this is also like a space that's extremely serious to people and also has a lot of money in it as well. And I think like a huge part for a lot of our or investors of the Bowie esports team was kind of trying to get people who don't really understand stuff about gaming culture or the space at all, or even just the nerd space generally, and to understand that like it's more than just a passive kind of hobby. Like it's something that's very serious to people and is like, though it's like physically different comparative to like other sports in college, it's, it's still a sport, and it's just as like real as like any other sport that you're dealing with there. And then you also deal with like public perception from like your classmates. So I remember we have like this one specific instance of talking with like the head of the Bowie sports in general, like the head of athletics, and we're kind of like I guess just explaining how we feel about esports to them. And it's something kind of interesting because other people, like other sports, they don't have to do that, I guess.
Yeah. So I feel at esports, especially HBCUs, is like you said, often overlooked, but it also provides a chance for people who may not be able to connect through traditional means to connect through a sense of competition, like sports. I'm sure a lot of you here have played traditional sports before, maybe whether it be basketball, football, even tag, if you will. Like competing gives people a chance to connect with each other, right? Esports is another way people manage to do that. I'm sure all you have played online games before and have a group of online friends y'all play games with, right? So it kind of offers students a chance to make that organically on campus and maybe in a way that is a little more like safe and controlled in other ways they can make friends on campus, right? So I know for me personally, through attempting to build the League of Legends team at Bowie, it allowed me to make friends with a couple people I've never spoken to before. I never met, and now we're pretty cool. We play League of Legends sometimes, right? And now we're cool. We have that repertoire with each other. So I think it's a great way to meet people and interact with people, which is what NBO is all about, really. It's just about bringing together people in a safe space. So yeah.
To really touch on the what Ollie was saying when we had to speak with the AD of athletics at the school, one of the challenges we like encountered was trying to prove the importance of having that and the impact it brings to students, because it's a different level of competition, where people are used to seeing basketball, football, volleyball. It's something that students wouldn't normally tune into because it's not their natural parameter of sports that are put out to the school. So when they were hearing esports, some students were like really jumping on it while other students didn't, because they didn't see it's new. They didn't see what the school was pushing with it. They didn't see it didn't feel to them like the school was really behind it, more of something that the school started, but they're not really sure about. When we first kind of like got started, it was a really bumpy start because it was still in the beginning stages of being official on the campus. Where either the coaches before I became a coach wasn't as solidified. They focused on what games they were good at instead of focusing on the whole entire team, entire all the players, the different games that they had, and only had about 3 to 4 games in total. It was a really interesting experience to look at, because at the end of the day, it didn't really give off that it was being pushed to be a permanent aspect at the school. It was like a trial and error. But when the fall 2025 came and they hired a full actual manager for the room for the esports arena, it kind of gave a sense of where this is what we're trying to make work. And I met him over the summer. His name is Joseph Dorsey. When I met him over the summer, and I told him what my skills were in Smash, and I played him, and he immediately like spoke to the AD and said, we need this student to be a coach because he knows more than what I'll be able to offer. And it kind of gave the school a reason to start a work study role for me to take on that coach role at just as an attending student, not as like someone they hired in to take on the role. So it gives it shows the impact it can really make on the students, because when I started, other students that were joining in, they didn't feel like they were talking to like someone who didn't go through it already, or someone that's just there to just bark orders at them. It felt like someone they could relate to. So it gave them more morale when they're training, when they're playing.
Yeah. We were both there for like the kind of start of the Bowie esports and then like how it's going for right now. So you can definitely see the transition and it's really cool. So it's like, I guess the start was kind of rocky, but even at that, it also provided an opportunity for students to take initiative. So it was kind of harder to find a Valorant coach. So what we would do was, and also like Jamal mentioned, originally we didn't have somebody kind of specifically overlooking the games like Smash or Valorant or like League at all. So we would organize our own like scrims and stuff, and it kind of let us sort of come together and do our own leadership, which is a good experience to have. So it wasn't necessarily ideal, at least to us at the time, but I think that it also helped us a lot coming back the second time. And at that point, we had more leadership from like Joseph as well. So yeah, that was pretty good, I would say.
To further expound on her point, watching this entire program grow has been a wonderful experience, especially being there from like the start of it, right? Seeing it blossom throughout all the hardship is wonderful, especially the Smash Seniors Brothers doing a fantastic job of making sure that the Smash Brothers team is growing by the day. And it's cool seeing like in just casual meetings with esports as mentioned, have the whole room light up because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people on our campus aren't really into esports, right? Like they just don't have an outlet to let out their interests, which they do now, thanks to this guy, you know. So it's really wonderful to see, right? But it was most evident with our Smash Brothers community, all right. There's a huge plethora of people who play Smash Brothers in the NBL. So it's great to see them just get better. And I've seen them train people. They've gone from like levels better than what they were when they started. So it's been great to see that, you know.
To give a good example of the evolution of the players' skills. So when I started as a coach, the team kind of like we had a team of 7. And you could tell like out of the team like who were the players that like knew their character and knew how to play, knew how to, the matchups and everything. And you had like a large pool of students that were still very new to the game. So I kind of like did a whole boot camp to focus on those students that needed more attention, that needed more focus, needed more help to like understand their to grasp their potential and improve on themselves. To the point where out of the 7 we had 3 that were we had 4 people that were at the level, but then we had 3 people who were pretty much new to the game. And out of the 7 now we have 6 people who were able to push us throughout the season. So we were in the league NCAA, which we were in one of the toughest divisions in the league, and we rocked out with an 11-2 record and only just got to third in our first season of championship. So in totality, like throughout the season, we only lost 1 game and that was our last game, and then in championships we only lost 1 game and that was our last game. So it really showed like the head coach Joseph, who coaches the Marvel Rivals team, which they also got to championships, but they were only able to get through preliminaries. They weren't able to get through prelims. They did a really great job. He was able to watch the students grow from start to finish and see the improvement enough that he when they learned I was graduating, they really wanted me like on the team. They really wanted me on the as a full time coach, and they're currently working to make that happen because they saw the potential I was able to give the students. They saw the encouragement, they saw the morale, they saw evidently we were surprisingly to the AD and the manager of the esports arena, um, a very prominent team. They were very like unexpected, like throwing out good numbers. We were able to stream ourselves on the campus, and that gave a lot of students like a lot of interest. We were able to have Mr. Bowie State come and witness our games, so it was very encouraging for the students. It was very enriching just to build the name of esports at Bowie State University.
Yeah, I also think it's pretty important to talk about the role that representation plays as well. I think like a huge part of why certain people were willing to throw their weight behind the Bowie esports team was seeing that there was a demographic of students on campus that really, really wanted it. Like New Blurred Order has a lot of tournaments, like gaming tournaments that we've done very successfully that had great turnout at the school and were just like really well talked about and received, that we had to kind of show as like, look, there's a population of students on campus that really want this and this kind of, I guess, ties back into what I was saying earlier, but it's like when it's already somewhat of a new concept to a lot of people, it's being able to have students that are willing to be open about what they like is super important. So I just wanted to kind of highlight like the role that each and every one of our members play just by showing up, because that's pretty much why we're able to even have this and present to these people that like, hey, we need a esports team at Bowie, even though they were not checking for that before at all.
One of the good things it's actually brought is the potential of having sponsors, because that's one of the things Mr. Dorsey also does, is looking for sponsorships. So the fact that we were able to, in our first season, pull that off kind of gives a better lighting into what the potential of esports at Bowie State does. We are currently in the state, we really are the pioneers of the esports program. We're pioneers of the esports we're esports community at Bowie State, and we're really trying to make a name of ourselves, not only for the school but for the program, because even after each player graduates, we gotta like cultivate new players, because this year we had more students that were interested for Marvel Rivals and Smash. We have students that are interested in other games. I'm currently working on trying to get an Apex team for the fall semester, and that's already in the works. I know Mr. Dorsey is trying to get courses over the summer for students to understand the history of esports and be able to learn more about esports as a whole, so they can be prepared to grow into when they come, for students that are incoming freshmen, for them to be able to start a what's the word a start their journey in esports. One of the takeaways I had two actually. One of the freshmen who joined the team, his name is Eric. He plays Diddy Kong and Mario. He said that it's something he like wanted to pursue, and he told his family it's something he wants to pursue, and his family was whole like behind it, but he didn't know where to start because he didn't know Bowie had it. So when he came to the school and he learned that Bowie State had an esports team and he was able to join and he made it, it like really helped him see his dreams. It helped him see it helped him really like feel like his dreams were real and he was living his own dream. Like even though like it's at a beginning level, he saw himself improve each day, each practice. Even though he had hardships in actual games, and we play online games, we don't get to play in person. We get to play online. So he was able to learn from his losses, but he didn't let that stop him. And one thing I teach people is like every loss is just inch closer to success. So don't ever like dwell on it too much, because that means your success is getting closer. And then lo and behold, he was able to win a whole set for us, like in his time at the on the team, and seeing that excitement, seeing that joy of improvement is something that I just knew was something that all the students had, and they were looking for. Another student was saying like the esports team is something that kind of like brought him together. Like Mike said, like there's people who you will play with on the team, but you don't know them. And sometimes people who come on a team are also just looking for friends and looking for their tribe, looking for their people. And coming to the end of the semester, as we're like saying our final goodbyes before the semester ends, he like really showed it like a vulnerable side of he really like enjoyed the experience because he felt he didn't feel alone anymore. And that stuff that this team impacts, people are used to seeing that stuff on like wider scales, like on basketball teams, football teams, where people build that brotherhood and bond through that sport. But on this team, it's such a small scale, such much more a more intimate bonding space for students to learn how to compete with each other and push each other to get better. Because at the end of the day, they're all working together to win each game to get closer to winning the championships.
Yeah, to further highlight that point, specifically a point about the freshmen, as someone who got the chance to work a lot with the incoming class from this year, seeing them light up when we took them on a tour, their first tour to school, like as students, right, during their orientation, because I got the chance to be orientation leader. So seeing them light up when we walked past the building with the esports arena in it, and just explaining that it existed and that was an option for them to pursue was wonderful. All right, because the esports arena came in during my time at Bowie, right? So it wasn't there when I got there, but it's there now, right? So seeing them, just their whole demeanor change, right? Because some people weren't really engaged with the experience, and when they learned that we had esports here, you're right, it really revitalized them, gave them some excitement for the upcoming semester, and like you said, gave them opportunity to really explore a path that they probably didn't expect would be open for them when they decided to attend Bowie State, right? So I think that's cool, that's wonderful, and definitely will open a lot of pathways in the future for people just to learn more about themselves, because it helped me.
That's one of the things they don't realize. It opens up a lot of opportunities. One of the things I'm trying to talk to, we got actually we started a relationship with UMD where we take the students to a bi-weekly event at UMD where they have the MAGFest. And we have them play. They compete in the tournament, and when they first did it last year, a lot of students were impressed with themselves because they got further than they thought they would. I think out of our group that went, over half of them placed top 10. So that's like very like crazy because they didn't see their improvement at home, but when they went out, they were able to see one of them placed 10th, another one placed 8th, another one placed 7th, another one placed 6th, and I think our highest person placed 4th. In the UMD event. So it kind of like it really doubles down on that they are working hard, and one of the things that I hope to get other students to see or get the faculty to see is that this is a life-changing opportunity for the students because, like Ollie said, this is still a sport. It's esports. It's a new sports. It's a new genre, and it's something that schools are rapidly starting to take interest in and really starting to put money into. But it's just started at Bowie, so we gotta show them why they need to put money into this this new program. One of the things I do is whenever I go to cons, I compete in their tournaments because that's where most times I can compete. And I was explaining to them about BlurredCon coming up, and I was like, this would be a great opportunity because we already taking students over there, so we could take the students who will be competing in Smash over there. It would help them because they can compete in their tournaments and other cons, because there's other cons we can try and find that are in the school's semester parameter that gives them the opportunity to still compete and see their improvement or see where they need work in. So it's like I said, it's opportunities that we're trying to really get the students to experience, so they can see where they can get better, and also to help really push the necessity of having these opportunities for students out of school.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely do think that sometimes when, kind of like they just said, sometimes you'll go in thinking that it's already not going to be an option for you for very layered reasons. And I think that aside from just like the joy of being able to do something that you love, it can generally just change your outlook on like how you just navigate life, like what is for you, what's not for you. Like that shouldn't really be a thing. But as much as we say that, when you look at the places that lack programs like this, you're kind of like, I don't know, it's just not cool. So I guess it's good. It's just really exciting that we have that now, because again, on top of like all the other factors, we are a very small school. Like we're a pretty small college. I think we have about like 6,000 students.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great opportunity, and obviously took a lot of work, and we're sort of like reaping that now, having this program and being able to introduce new students to it and compete.
It also gives students something to take pride in and being a part of, something to build. One thing that it allows like students to do is it lets them not only be a part of something but be proud of what they're doing, right? Like he said, there are students who have competed and have placed in tournaments, right? That gives them something to be proud of, something to motivate themselves to get better at, right? And that confidence can not only gain from esports, can bleed in other aspects of their life. So like things like that is really cool to see.
Lastly, I wanted to kind of like say, we as an organization has really opened the doors for Bowie State to consider this even. Like I said in the beginning, our school president came to one of our events, and she just saw how much student initiative and student interest it was, and really wanted to push the program itself, pushing the construction of the room. And the IT department saw that and wanted us to be as involved as we possibly could. So it really takes the community to really get these initiatives together, gets the engine going, because our game division is what brought the interest in. And when during the summer Joseph got here, he's new to the school as a whole, so he was able to utilize New Blurred as a way to help get the information out there, because that's something that the school saw that we already did.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to add to what Mike was saying, but it is really cool to be able to be that this gives students something to be proud of. Before I came to school, okay, so the summer before I came to Bowie, it's the summer that I turned 18. I pretty much spent that entire summer on Valorant. Like, I was a sweat. That's when I hit my peak. Like, I was just on that all the time. And, like, I guess obviously my mom and my dad were kind of like, what are you doing, bro? Get off. And I was kind of like, no. And I did it. And I just kept playing. I brought my PC to campus with me. I literally had like a shared dorm. I didn't care. It was just in the middle of the room. And I would just play whenever I got the chance or anything. So it is kind of nice to turn something that once maybe people would be like, they feel like it's useless because they don't understand it. And then you get to do something meaningful with it is pretty cool, because it's like I guess when you have sort of less traditional hobbies, you're more likely to get pushback on them. It's like, or okay, or when you have a hobby that you're not like trying to profit off of, people are like they feel like you're wasting your time. And there's like so many things that it's like there's a gaming equivalent of, you know, like I feel like people don't tell people with more traditional hobbies that it's like you're wasting your time or you're kind of being lame until you start hitting stuff like gaming or like tabletop games or just stuff that the average person might not get. So being able to turn that into something that, or start doing something with it, that they're no longer like, when I told my mom that I was like, there was a point where I was like kind of the captain of the Valorant team, and she was like really proud of me. And it's like, this is so funny because 3 years ago you thought I was a loser. So, yeah, it's just, it's really nice, and it will change like your perspective of even like the things that you love to do. So if you're like less inclined to share that with someone because maybe you're used to being told like that it's useless or it's not important, then and now you get to see that it is okay to do what you love. And then now you're going to start feeling that way about your other hobbies or the other things that you're passionate about, and be able to like put yourself fully into anything that you love. Because I mean, yeah, it can be validating. I'm not saying you should do everything off of like external validation, but it's nice. Yeah.
I mean, but basically, yeah, just to further push that point, feeling good about yourself for doing something you like should never be something you take shame in, right? Yeah, I kind of have a similar background to her, man. I mean, I've played a lot of video games. I've been playing PC games since I was 14, right? Spending endless weekends just in my room, just gaming, right? Just playing, whether it's League, Valorant, Overwatch, just gaming, right? So when I got to school, right, I was looking for a way to continue doing that because that's all I'm used to, you know. I made my friends are all we're all on Discord servers playing video games together all the time, right? I'm looking for a way to replicate that on campus, right? And there wasn't a way at the time. And when Jamal came to me and presented the opportunity to play one of my favorite games for the school that I love so much, right? I was like, okay, I'm there, all right? So I immediately took the opportunity because I feel like if you're presented with the opportunity to do something that you love, with other people who have a like-minded interest, who you probably could be cool with, right? You would take it. So I feel like, you know, it's just a great ample opportunity for other people who are like myself, like Ollie or like Jamal, to find another community within the school that they may not have known existed. So yeah.
Oh, I kind of grew up in a nerdy family, but my biggest competitor was my middle brother, and he and we grew up on Smash from 64 up to I think Project M, and he would like be going in the competitive zone. I'm like, I like to be a competitive casual yeah, competitive casual. I like to be at that competitive level, but then just be better than my friends, be happy there. But I always like take the opportunity whenever I go out to conventions where I can feel more comfortable to play in a tournament there. He and I used to go to Xanadu a lot. But eventually, like, fortunately, it got closed down. Rest in peace. But he and I kind of like worked off each other in terms of like just building each other up. Eventually, I moved on to like Smash Ultimate when it came out. He stayed more in melee because I was more his speed, which was completely fine. Um, but I kind of like saw the the opportunity of improving myself in that game, and I just kind of stayed in the game to kind of increase my knowledge, increase what I need to know about the gameplay. You learn how to play in others, the mental game, and not even just for myself, because I know there's gonna be people who I meet along the way who are the younger generation that are trying to get better in the game, and I just want to pour into them. And when I got there, transferred from PG, and I was just there, and I found my first Smash player. His name is Marcus, and I kind of trained him up his entire time at Bowie, and now he's the captain of the Smash team that I run, and he understands the torment I've given him as a Daisy player. Um, so it's like he was able to learn from, he was able to adapt, and it was able to like improve himself to a point where he goes to tournaments and he gets either top 10, top 16, or recently he's been getting top 4 throughout the tournaments he goes to. So it's like it's a really great process to watch people grow, especially when you're the one who was growing themselves and now you're like pouring into them to help them grow. So it's very fun. And now at this level of coaching, it really makes a difference because I get to watch them grow from barely any like foundation to really understanding how to play the game. Okay, that note, open the floor to any questions you guys have for us about panel, or just us and just asking us any questions in general. So open the floor to you guys. Any questions?
The results of having an esports program and being on the competitive side of video game athletic events and stuff around it, has it changed anyone, not on the panel, but project, change their major from something to science or to game development, cybersecurity, exposure.
What I will say is that, for example, the first Valorant team, everybody was already computer science. I think that we do in New Blood Order, we have a lot of different majors that are there. Like we literally have everyone. We do this thing called study hall where we'll have like all the members of the board that will be able to help you with any subject that you need help with or course. And we literally have pretty much like we have like an extremely wide array of majors, but I feel like at least from the part of esports that I've been heavily involved, which was just mainly like the Valorant kind of like shooters side, it's everyone's pretty much already in CS anyway, or like animation or those types of that area.
One thing I can say is, as someone who got inspired through esports to pick my major, it didn't necessarily make me change it, but it kind of showed different avenues that I could pursue with my major, right? So I'm a visual communication, digital media arts major, which is a fancy way to say I make art. My concentration is animation and motion graphics, right? And as we all know, in video games, there are animations, right? So you need an animator, right? So when I was, playing esports, I was like, okay, I love video games. I love competing in video games. I want to make a game. How can I do that? Okay, maybe I'm not the best at coding, but I do know how to animate something. I know how to make something move, so that's what I can do, right? So it just kind of made me think more about what I could do with this professionally rather than just exploring it as an interest. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not making Evo. To be honest with you, I'm not making Evo, but I can help work on a game that might be played at Evo. I can do that. So to open my eyes to more possible avenues to careers in the game industry, careers in esports that I guess the game industry would be a better word. That isn't just playing said video games. So.
I wouldn't say it has pushed so far as I've seen any students into the direction that more go into game development, but it has pushed students into learning more about the intricacies of gaming to better understand their potential. Especially one of the things we're understanding like frame data. We've actually had students like actually sit like we're in a class and we kind of go over the differences in frame data and lag and all that stuff. The coach is working on an esports course over the summer to kind of like for students are interested in taking it, but also for incoming freshmen to kind of get the history of esports, to understand the very much down detail to when it started, to how it kind of grew into the position it's in now, the various players who have helped push the narrative of esports and the initiative of esports. So it's one of the things that I would say it's creating a new avenue for students to kind of look into game development or into character design for gaming through the courses that esports will create.
Also, okay, I guess this wasn't specifically Bowie Esports, but the reason I chose computer science is because I always loved video games. Like, I grew up playing video games, my sisters, and I've just always loved them. So when it came to being able to choose what I want to do, like, forever, that was why I picked CS in the first place. And then software engineering, cybersecurity, all of that kind of came while I was at school. And then I was introduced to like different aspects of computer science. But like the thing that kind of pushed me in that direction was gaming in general. So technically, yeah.
I think.
I think the whole thing, the whole like program is great because I graduated from Bowie.
Ooh.
I graduated in 2009, so that was like way before like that was even more thought. And there were like we had to find like our own people. It wasn't as accessible as it is like now, where there were like 20 buildings now there now that wasn't there when I was there. But we had to really find like our own people like in Bowie and like people who watched anime, who game, who did cosplay. It was the whole thing. So when I found out that this was like, not only was it a program, but like there was a whole building dedicated to it, I think it's really cool to see how far like my school, your school, has like made this massive jump to give, us more exclusive groups. That's not just like traditional like band or football, basketball. There's like a place like you can go across from your dorm to play esports. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I love talking to alumni about that. It's really cool because it's like it's such a like a I guess different experience now, and they always tell us like, like we didn't have this building, that building. It's like so it's pretty cool.
But I mean, I'm being honest. I mean, y'all had a part to play in that, right? Like, I'm sure y'all
Absolutely.
y'all influenced people around y'all who like about to love anime, love video games, right? And those people might end up coming down to Bowie down the line, and they might end up being a part of esports, right? So, I mean, just it's cool to watch it all come up, right? But it's always remember that y'all still played a part in that, especially if you were helping build a community. It might not, be the same as it was back then, but you still helped build something. So.
One of the things also I agree
Sorry.
with Ollie. Or it's like I agree with Ollie when it's like it's really interesting talking to alumni before I graduate about it because they see what we're doing and the first thing they say is like, dang, I wish I had this when I was there. And I'm like, dang, I wish this was a thing. And it's really encouraging to know that we're making a difference on a timeline scale because from to hear people say they wish they had this to people saying they're so glad that they have this, it really like it reinforces why we do what we do on campus. See you and then I see you in the back.
For the tournaments you play, I guess, outside of college tournaments, but you also do like collegiate tournaments together.
So, okay, in my experience, we have done more in our division, and it's all online. So I would say it's outside our like general region, because I know we've played, we played Shenandoah, we've played Alabama, a school in Alabama, and I believe we played Savannah, also. So it's like it's more out of our region, but in a division that puts us all in one. Okay.
Freshmen going into community college now, what advice would you give to somebody trying to make like an esports league in their school?
Okay. So first, what I've learned how the like general is like starting an esports group. You have to have like a group of 5 people in that also go to school that are very much interested in it, and you have your advisor to help bring it together, but also get support from other staff because while the school might not have a space specific, you'll able to work with staff that can help you find a space using their like classroom or helping with their office hours to help find you spaces to play to get games together in. And the more it grows, because everything, the hardest thing when it comes to anything is the start. And as long as you're consistent with the start, and then you're showing why it's necessary to have this here, you're definitely gonna gather more attention. You're gonna gather more eyes in a higher administration that would want to support this because esports is on the rise. And if they see they at least have a group of students that are interested in it as a whole, they'll definitely like find a way to put time in to help grow it bit by bit the best way they can. Any more questions? Yes. So in terms of the esports program, so luckily the esports program is still under the athletics department, and what that does, it as long as this is showing like there's interest, as long as it's showing that there's improvement, that they're not just there to be there, but they're winning games, they're making it to championships, they're showing that they can make it to nationals. The school very much will keep it active, especially if they see that the what I know Bowie State's loves is that when their students that graduate come back and put in to help programs that were like just starting to get off the ground. And that's one of the things I'm doing because I recently graduated in December, but I'm coming back because I want to see the esports program grow. And I feel like it's beneficial because we've had, in the span of that one semester, we had so many tours of students that were coming through the esports arena and that were saying they really want to get into this when they come to the school.
Right.
We've actually had a student that said he's deciding on Bowie because of the esports arena, and he really wants to like join into the Marvel Rivals team. And other students that was really interested in the Smash team. So it's like way to keep it alive is to kind of pour back into it and to show the school that it left an impact on you as you were leaving out. That enough that you want to keep it going.
Yep. I was gonna say proving interest is like a huge part. Like for the Valorant team, the first time I literally had to like go around and pretty much gather enough people that wanted to play like single-handedly, which wasn't that hard because it's a great game. It's amazing. So y'all did not agree with that. Well, but yeah, proving interest is probably like one of the largest parts because as long as you can do that, you can definitely find someone to understand you and understand the importance and want to put their weight behind it too in a way that really matters.
Yeah, just to really just push home again, so kind of similar to what she said. To keep something alive, you need a fresh, like you need younger people to come into it, right? So as you grow, I don't know if you're in school already, but as you grow through like a collegiate journey, right? As you get older and older, you're closer to getting up out of there. You want to kind of target a younger demographic who's in the same things that you are, right? So if you find maybe like a freshman or a sophomore who loves to play esports but hasn't necessarily given it a shot yet, just encourage them to give it a shot. And if they choose to give it a shot, maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. But if they like it, they'll stay, right? And then if they stay, then they can encourage somebody else, and it kind of snowball effect and keep going. And now you have a program that's been around for 10 years, right? So some just stuff like that, right? But yeah.
Any other question? Going once. Going twice. All right. Thank you all for coming out to our panel, esports at Bowie. If you want to know more about New Blood Order or know more about the esports program at Bowie State, you can definitely come talk to us. Follow us on our Instagram pages also. You can go first.
You could follow me on Instagram at EF4IRYY. I also stream and I cosplay.
My Instagram is cook2cozy. That's COOKTOOCOZY. Like I said, I'm the founder of this organization. I'm also an animator. So I'm an animator and event coordinator as well. That's what I'm make sure to put up there.
You can follow me on my art account. It's yo.red, YOO.RXD. I'm an artist. I make arts of all kinds. I do 3D animation, 3D modeling, and sculpture. I do 2D animation as well. It's my major. And I do a lot of, I'm an anime editor, tried and true, but specifically manga animation as well. So if you need something animated, just DM me. We can work something out.
Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate you guys coming out. You guys have a great day and enjoy MAGFest.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.